Good evening. This is All Sports with LD coming back at you with another YouTube post from my YouTube channel. And before I get started on tonight's post, please like, subscribe, and share this post. Tonight, I want to discuss the firing of Nick Rolovich and 4 assistants from Washington State University due to the fact that they refused to get vaccinated. Mind you, state mandated vaccination for COVID-19. So I'll leave the link for the article. You can go on and take a look at it yourself if you like. But tonight I want to kind of talk about why leadership is important. When you become a leader, even as a leader, there are certain rules and regulations that you must follow. When you are a leader, you do not get to do whatever you feel is acceptable in your mind. Leaders are held accountable by upper management or upper staff or executive staff, or whoever is above a specific leader and whatever department they are a part of. So leaders always have someone to answer to. And the thing that I've noticed, we are in very interesting times. More and more we are seeing people in position of leaderships here in America do exactly the opposite of what the leaders are supposed to do. You know, I learned some years ago as a leader of a company that I worked for many years ago. And as part of my leadership training course that I went through for this specific position as a general lead of this company. And as the general lead in this company, I was the first in the office to gather the paperwork that would document our progress throughout the day. I was first in the working area to make sure that the work area was clean from sanitation the night before. Make sure all the necessary equipment was set up and ready to go as soon as the workers came in. I had to make sure that we had plenty of meat that we work with hanging meat. So I had to make sure there was plenty of meat ready to go for the day shift. And so while I'm prepping everything before the workers come in, this is what I did every day. Started at 6 a.m. and then I would be the last to leave. All the workers would go home. I would make sure our work area is cleaned up, make sure we had the acceptable account for the meat the following day, make sure the area is clean, make sure the equipment and utensils are placed back where they're supposed to be. After all of that is done, then I go return to the office and file the paperwork. And so one of the things as a leader generally is you are the first in, last out. And so what you are essentially doing is leading by example. And as a leader, you do not get to kind of do whatever you feel is necessary or feel within whatever you feel in the moment. Leaders are always being watched. whether it's upper management, whether it's your workers, or whether it's someone else in a different department. Leaders are always being watched. And this example of Nick Rolovich, who refused to comply with a state mandated rule, it's very telling. Especially since you are the head coach of Washington State University, the football team. Here you have about 120 so young men looking to you as their leader, as their guide, as someone to set the example. And here you are with 4 assistants refusing to comply with a state mandated rule. And what seems to me sort of common sense or logical, if you will, but as a leader, I must set the tone. And if it's something like state mandated rules that must be complied with, the leader should be first in line to set the example for those that he's over, for those that may be watching another department, and for those that are watching upper management. I can tell you that as someone who worked in a leadership position in the past and understand what leadership looks like, the behavior of Nick Rolovich is not what leadership looks like. In fact, it is the exact opposite of what leadership looks like. And maybe I'm off base, maybe I'm wrong, but it's just my opinion. As a leader, your job is to set the example for those who follow you, and there is no excuse not to follow the rules, regulation, and guidelines of said company, club that you work for. Essentially, as a leader, you don't have any rights, if you will. And what I mean by that is you're sitting in a position of leadership. So what that means is your personal belief systems goes out the window. If you don't like the company, organization, or club, or what have you, if you don't like their rules, regulation, and guidelines, kindly step down so another leader can come into your position and do the job. And as I said before, I find it very interesting the times that we're in. There's so many leaders, or those who are placed in position of leadership, not necessarily that they are leaders, but you are seeing quite a few of these people refuse to comply with the rules, regulations, and guidelines. I don't know what it is. Is it trying to make a statement? I'm not sure what that statement really means. But again, this is just my opinion on leadership. That if you're not ready to be the example, if you're not ready for be the person to be looked to, And if you're not ready to stand up front and take the responsibility of being the face and being the one that takes the arrows, move out of the way. We are in a time period in America that we need true leaders. America just removed former President Donald Trump because he was absent of what many people say was leadership qualities. And I'm not saying that to disrespect the office of the president. What I'm saying is that America is in need of true leadership. Leadership is important. So going forward, my hope is that Washington State University will hire a true leader to lead these young men. I'm hoping that we do have true leaders in all positions of America, because this is a very interesting time and most certainly a difficult time. We need true leaders. We need leaders that stand in the vacuum and be the example. Until then, have a good one.